Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. Yesterday, I had occasion to talk briefly about the Achimota lands, Scramble Ramsar sites, and I spoke in Ghana. I'm happy to know that the Ghana community, particularly the youth, have bought into the message. And yesterday, my phone was flooded, calls and messages from elite young Ghana people who are asking a simple question as to whether the leadership within the Ghana space and the Ghana state, the Gadangbe state, I should add, are really focused on the real issues, or are rather creating a certain smoke screen. They asked me, and then they said, well, how can we get it done? And I said, well, there are 7 quarters of Accra as far as I know. There are 7 quarters of Accra. There are many homes and all of that. And this would translate to all other places in Ghana that have heritage sites, that have public lands, that have all those important things that have to be protected. If the elders are not protecting it, maybe they have forgotten, or maybe they may be losing sight of the fact, or maybe somebody may be feeding them wrong information. This is the time, if you have gone to school, if you have been educated by your parents, by your kingsmen, if you have had an opportunity to rise to the top, this is the time to come down and go home. You're a lawyer. Your family has lands, but you don't want to be associated with the extended family. Go back home and help them to properly register those lands and to properly protect the lands for the future generations. Because it doesn't add up to me that you have a people who have resources, and the resources are being sold, the resources are being taken away, the resources are being grabbed from them, while their people remain impoverished, while their people themselves cannot fend for their own, while the people cannot even find places to lay their heads, while the people are in deep poverty and hunger. I don't get it. And I'm talking about this because of what I've also seen around the Obuasi Akrotre area. They've been mining gold there for centuries. What is their story? What is their story? Pothole-ridden, no street lightism, all of that. What is their story? And the point is that you cannot have a resource and still remain impoverished. We are not building, for example, scholarship schemes and regimes for our children. We are not creating soft loans like the Domahine is doing. He's giving people actual money to go and farm, giving up people actual money to go and start business. What are other chiefs doing? Are they learning? Or they are just interested in being called, oh, Nana, oh, Ni, oh, Nene? They are just happy. Have you seen, dear chief, that these days when you are moving, back in the day, the chiefs that you came to see and the kings that you came to see had the young people around them, including perhaps yourself, would follow them with a lot of pride and elegance and finesse. Have you seen that these days it's dwindled? And that most of the chiefs actually engage the services of land guards. Give them pump action guns to follow them around. Yes. Greedy men. Greedy women as well. Back in the day, we do know that the functions of within the chieftaincy or chiefdom, there's a king or there's a chief, there's a linguist, there's this, there's that, there's a warrior king. All of that comes from a certain family within the clan. Today, have you seen that people are shying away from it? Because they don't see the essence. They see it as an avenue to just, profiteer. The lands are there, sell it. This is there, do it. And that's it. No proper impact on the lives of the people. I'm looking for about 50% of our chiefs and queen mothers who can tell me that since they have been there, and sometimes they both, I've been here for 30 years, I've been here for 20 years, I've been here for 50 years, I've been a chief for this and that. What have you done for your people? Beyond, sitting in palanquins, beyond, the pomp and pageantry, beyond all the funds and the fanfare that you get, what have you done for your people? As chief, what exactly have you done for your people? And are you aware, Mr. Chief, Madam Queen Mother, are you aware that we are getting to the point where your relevance in the Ghanaian society and the governance structure is fading away quickly? Are you aware? There's a local government act, Act 936, that doesn't have you properly situated in it. You don't have a voice at the local level. You don't have a voice at the local level. You don't have a voice at the district assembly. You don't have a voice. A voice backed by law. You don't have it. There's a National House of Chiefs. Only one representative on the Council of State. And when you start losing the gong beater and all those functions that would have brought people to the center, would have rallied people to come and listen to you for communal labor and all of that, and now you start using radio stations and TV stations because that's modernity, you realize that a chunk of your power is going and is fading away gradually. Oh yes, you are a chief, you own lands, you hold it in trust for your people. But when people buy lands, they actually don't come to you. I know there are parts in this country where the chiefs and the kings are very instrumental. You dare not develop a land without their knowledge. You're a chief. Developments are happening all over you. You have no clue. You have no idea. Sometimes you don't even know how the lands were sold. You should have a rethink. Yesterday, because I spoke about the Garlands, and I'll stay on this matter for a while, because it's becoming too synonymous with us that, matters come up, we say, we are investigating, and then the matter fades away, and that's it. First of all, there are two issues. There's the Achimota forest. That is one. And so far, the initial statement from the ministry talked about the Ramsar site. But the subsequent statements seem to be focusing more on the Achimota forest and leaving the Ramsar site. What is a Ramsar site? It is a wetland, a site that is designated internationally, and it has importance because of migratory animals, especially birds. In 1971, in the holy city of Ramsar in Iran, we signed this convention. Ghana signed onto it. There were 169 countries that signed onto this. In Ghana, we decided that the Muni-Pomazi area in the central region was going to be one of our sites. The Densu Delta was going to be another. Sakumono, which we are told somebody has gotten 5 acres of it and even willed to somebody forever, is part of it. The Songo area in Adan is part of it. Keta in the Volta region is part of it. The Owabi area in the Ashanti region is part of it. 5. Songo, Keta, Owabi, Densu Delta, Sakumono, and then the Pomazi area. We had it. That Ramsar Convention, which was signed in 1971, is the oldest of all the conventions on the environment. Focuses on coastal areas and the mountainous areas, which is why you have Owabi as part of it. Now, then you pull up the letters. There are 2 letters, and again, that's the confusion I'm talking about. While your resources are being taken away, there are 2 letters I've seen. One from the Danny, put the letters up for me. Put the first one up for me quickly. Put this one up for me. And I'll show you. Danny, keep that song under it. Stoneboy song. This is a letter dated 24th May, Ministry of Chieftaincy Religious Affairs, GA Traditional Council. It says, press release by the GA Traditional Council. The attention of the GA Traditional Council has been drawn to news of the release of portions of the Achimota forest to the Owu land and matters arising thereof. No mention of the Ramsar site. But the Ramsar site is also in GA, and the GA Traditional Council should have been interested in it. But you see, the focus is always on the Achimota forest. The Gamanche and president of the GA Traditional Council, King Taki Teku Churu II, has set up a committee of eminent chiefs and stakeholders to investigate all matters leading to the said release. Okay, A report on the findings and consequent actions will be made available to the general public. Thank you. Dated the 24th day of May 2022, Gamanche Palace, Kanisha Accra, Ni Adote Otinto II, Sepe Manche and Mankralo of the Ga state. And to all media houses. Focus on paragraph 2. It says that an investigation will be done, but there's no timeline for the investigation. Does it make sense to you? We have seen a matter. We want to investigate, but there's no timeline for the investigation. So as we saw in the will, I have willed this camera to Eben forever. The investigations will continue forever. Have you thought about it? That we are going to investigate such a very serious matter, and there's no timeline to the investigation. And it is coming from the highest authority within the Ga state, the traditional council, signed by no less a person than the man Kralo, who is, speaking the voice of the Gamanche, Ni Teko Churu. A second. Great. Then he put the other letter for me. This is the first confusion. There is no timeline to the investigation. So what are we investigating? There's no timeline. Now, this is another letter. Office of the Gamanche, 24th May, same day. Press release on cessation of Achimota forest reserves and introduction of Ejapa royalties. Boni ni taki Adama Lache II, another Gamanche. Ni Teko Churu, the second, is the first one who wrote the on behalf of him. Ni Adotitinto wrote that letter. Now it says Ni Boni ni taki Adama Lache II, Gamanche, and the Gajase expressed their utmost shock and surprise at the decision by government to declassify the 361.50 acres Achimota forest reserves for being a forest reserve through the passing of an executive instrument 144 by the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo. The Achimota forest reserve is the only major existing blah blah blah. Okay, we therefore call on His Excellency President Akufo-Addo and the Honorable Minister of Land to protect it. We withdraw the EI blah blah blah. So Niyao Ochogan the second Ja Seche. You see, this is where the confusion is. You have a resource. The resource is being taken away. There's our own mini Berlin conference, a scramble for lands. We are watching. And instead of uniting and having a unified voice to demand for what you desire, we have two letters from two people claiming to be two Ghana chiefs. And the Ghana youth are there. They are in distress. Today, as we speak, there are people of other tribes, and I'm not being tribalistic, again, I'm being realistic. Yesterday, I told you about language. And somebody on a page told me about the Ahanta situation, where the Ahantas, who are the original occupants of the Western region, are now forced to speak Fanti because at some point the Ahanta language was not even taught in school. That's the same thing that's happening in some schools in the Greater Accra region. The Ga language is not being taught, and we are sitting and watching. We are writing letters. We are all focusing on Achimota forest. We are now focusing on the Sakumono. And anybody who is a proper Ga will tell you the essence of Sakumono in the Ga structure and how it helps even in the celebration of Homo. There's an essence to it. So this is where the confusion is. So I want the Ga chiefs to focus. Focus. There are issues of corruption. You need to focus. There are issues of grabbing. You need to focus. There are issues of ownership. You need to focus. Have a focus. If you are asking for investigations to be done or you are sanctioning an investigation, you must tell us the timelines for the investigations. You can't investigate forever. It's basic. Then he played a video of Sir John for me. Sir John, may he rest in peace. I came to bury Julius Caesar not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. After his death, this is it. Then he played that video for me quickly.
That was even serious, but what I've seen here makes it even worse. Indeed, both the right side and the left side are all part of the Ramsar site, and yet the massive encroachment that we've seen, beggars, disbelief. Those who allege that they bought it from the chiefs, to go back and collect their monies. because if they got it for free, fine, then they have nothing, to worry their heads about. But whatever it is, we will not let them stand.
He's dead, he's gone, but he has 5 acres, 5.7, that he's willed to someone forever. This was the boss of the Forestry Commission telling us that it is wrong for anybody to own a portion of land there. And that he was going to claim the lands from them and return it to the state. He owns 5 acres and he's willed it, and it's become a matter of legal contestation in the courts. We're told by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Who is in court? We don't know. They didn't add that. Double standards. The principle cannot be one. The principle must be one. The principle must be that if it's state land, it's state land. The principle must be that if it's state land, you don't go there, you don't go and grab it. The principle must be that if you are going to grab it, then there must be a good reason. If there's no good reason and it's for greed, you must not go there. Now I'm learning that Sir John himself, bless his soul and may he rest in peace, did not declare his assets. It raises the question, how many other people within this government, the previous government, and governments before them didn't declare their assets, and did the Auditor General, per the constitutional requirement 286, did he demand that those serving from president down to the last man, did he demand that they declare their assets? Because if you declare at the beginning that you have 1 TV set, you have 1 radio set, and by the close of the administration, you are earning 4,000, and now you can talk about 5 acres of land, we should be asking you where you got them from. But we won't ask the question. That's what I'm saying. Don't be thinking about, withdraw EI 144, Achimota forest land should have the ownership remains void if you had it, Ramsar sites, this, that. But there are issues of corruption. Because if there's a constitutional provision which is a prerequisite for you offering that office, and then you decide not to abide by it, you have infringed upon the law. And crime does not expire. Who else has not declared their assets? And what else do they have at this time? Danny, there's a last screenshot I want you to put up there. A pledge by President Akufo-Addo. And that's what I'm ending with. If you find a video, play it. If you find a screenshot, play it for me. Where President Akufo-Addo told us that if you want to make money, don't come close to his presidency. If you want to make money, don't come close to his presidency. Today, guns are being willed. 5 pump-action guns, they are being willed. And we are being told to see something and say something. If you will 5 guns to private individuals or a private person, who is the real terrorist? I'm asking you. You have 5 pump-action guns. You are willing to an individual. You are telling us to see something, say something. Good call. But have you also interrogated what an individual will be doing with 5 guns, 5 pump-action guns, 1 person, and he's willing 5 guns to another individual? Who is the real terrorist?